Number 19. Party House. This is a love letter, not a romantic one, but a love letter nonetheless. I am not sure how long I was in that party house. It could have been anywhere from 2 days to a week. This letter is for you and all the other millions of young souls who never asked to be exposed to such horrors, but were subjected to them nonetheless. My heart surges with compassion when I think of you, and I think of you often. During my time of heavy drinking and drug using, there were many party houses in the downtown core. Most of these apartments were leased to males ranging in age from their mid-20s to 40s. Some of these houses required proof that you were over 16 years of age to enter, but mostly an offering of some sort of drug would get a person through the door. I saw you at one of these party houses. The entrance was a door off a notorious downtown street corner. Once through that door, one had to go up an awfully narrow flight of stairs. At the top was a cramped, dingy hallway lit by one loudly buzzing, glaring light bulb. The hallway contained 3 doors. The party house apartment had a black 2 hanging sideways on its door. This apartment was a typically seedy, drug-infested cesspool. The door opened into a combination living room and kitchen with a tiny bathroom and bedroom at the back end. The place was filthy. The only windows in the living room and facing the main street were covered with blankets, one blue and one red, both grimy with caked-on layers of smut so thick you could have spooned it off. The furniture consisted of a mattress on the floor in the bedroom, large ashtrays, and a big boom box that stayed on the kitchen counter. Only people who had sex with the leaseholder got to use the mattress. There was a run-down, beat-up-looking fridge and stove in the unit. The fridge housed no food, and the stove was used for heating up knives to burn hash. The party house was consistently filled with all sorts of smoke from cigarettes, weed, hash oil, and freebase cocaine. The floor was littered with empty booze bottles, cigarette butts, needles, and random debris. People knocked on the door at all hours. Some were denied entry, others were allowed in. The leaseholder made that decision. It depended on if he was in the mood for you and what you had to offer. During this visit, I was 16 or 17, and I believe the leaseholder was 25. I showed up with 2 26-ounce bottles of booze, one for me and one for the house. After the bottles were gone, I contributed to the house by running. I had good connections and was in fact a fast runner, so if anything went wrong during a score, I could make a quick getaway. Classic rock music was playing day and night in the apartment. Violence never failed to erupt, and when it did, there would always be bloodshed. More toxicity to add to the layers of filth on the floor. I am unclear as to exactly how I came to know you were in the apartment. I might have gone from a standing position to sitting on the floor, or I may have moved over from one spot on the floor to another. Either way, I felt you wiggle as I was about to sit on you. I was stunned and repulsed that someone had brought a baby to a party house. I immediately ran out of the house. I was accustomed to shaking off horrific sights, but somehow the feel of you under me would not go away. Every time I went to sit anywhere, I could feel you squirm, and every time I saw a baby, I wanted to run away as fast as I could. You would be 36 years old now. I sure hope your parents got clean and gave you a better life. Or like me, did you find a way to give yourself a good life? After that, I only went into party houses strict about the over 16 rule. I was wholly haunted by the feeling of almost sitting on you, a baby. I thought of you every day, even though I did not know if you were a boy or a girl, who your parents were, or where you lived. I could not dodge the feeling I should do something to help you. Although I did not grow up in that type of party house, my nuclear family was its own brand of party house. I despised the thought of you, a baby, not being given a clean start. Throughout my lifetime, I have heard the cries of a newborn withdrawing from cocaine addiction and witnessed the devastating effects of fetal alcohol syndrome. Yet today, I do not despise addiction and alcoholism. No one chooses to be addicted and hurt the people they love, especially their children. I have learned that being born with a predisposition to addiction and into a drug house does not necessarily equal hopelessness and inevitable destruction. I have witnessed a multitude of phenomenal recoveries. There is nothing one human can endure that another has not already come through and conquered. We are never alone. Thinking of you. Love, Joey.
Subscribe, like, and share to support this channel.